Hey there, comic book fans. I am back from the comic shop this week. And I got 6 comics from my pull, and I threw an extra one on, too. Just because I liked the artwork. But we'll start off with Snot Girl. This was my surprise comic a month ago. When I bought the first issue, I saw the preview in Image Plus and wasn't overly fond of the preview. But then the first issue was there in the store and it was only $2.99, so I'm like, I'll give it a shot. And I was surprised, and I also liked the cover, and I was surprised about how much I enjoyed it. I'm not a big fan of this style of art, but the storytelling is excellent, and the story itself was kind of interesting. It was kind of this weird, you're inside, and the only reason I call her Snot Girl is because she has some allergies. She doesn't have snot superpowers or anything, and she's a fashion blogger, and a lot of the story takes place inside her head as she just kind of tries to cope with life because all her friends are strangers online and she doesn't have any real life friends, and she's kind of at a crisis point with her whole life. And I just found it an interesting read, a sort of slice of life. I liked the writing style on it. It was sort of half internal, half external. And like I said, though the style of artwork isn't my favorite, the storytelling is excellent, so that I really enjoyed the artwork in the end. So there you go, Snot Girl number 2. Give that a try. And next we have the new issue of Thief of Thieves number 34. Interesting cover. That is one of our thieves. There's now what's his name? Redmond, our Thief of Thieves, is kind of in a team-up / maybe competition with 2 other world-class thieves at the behest of these billionaires. There's Redmond. At the behest of these billionaires to try and, it's kind of, they want him to steal something from like Russian gangsters or something that kind of will help the billionaires out, but also help the world economy from collapsing. So there's a little heroicism and a little selfishness going on in this latest caper of Thief of Thieves, which happens a lot in this book. But I enjoy this book. There's not very many caper books out there. This is one of them. I think the Sean Martinborough art on this has always been strong. Let's see, Andy Diggle is writing it, right? Is that who our Andy Diggle is writing it? His writing is pretty good too. It's the writing mostly has to do with plot, being that it's a caper book. And overall, like I said, 34 issues in, and I'm still buying it. Even if I'm the only one on YouTube showing it off, I still am. And next we've got Department H, number 5, Murder 6 Miles Deep. I think this one's going about 20 issues. It's a wraparound cover. Our locked room murder story actually has turned a little weird. It's now turned into a survival story, a disaster survival story too, sort of like, the Towering Inferno or something, as they're underwater. And they found some mysterious underwater life at the bottom of the ocean in their container. The city lab they're living in down the bottom of the ocean is falling apart a bit. Maybe it was sabotaged, maybe it wasn't. But I really like Matt Kint's stuff, especially the stuff he draws himself. If you're interested in sort of something different, I guess it's a giant turtle. The little person there. If you're interested in something different, a locked room murder, a survival story, check out Department H. And next we have Outcast, issue number 20. Ooh, glowing red eyes. Kirkman and Azaceta. And I was a little disappointed in the last issue because the whole thing took place in a basement where the evil villain character was basically beating up our hero, trying to get him to join his side, and I didn't find it terribly interesting. But that's neither here nor there because I'm on the series for the long haul. I like the Paul Azaceta artwork a lot. I like the writing in general. One one clunker of an issue every now and then. Certainly doesn't bother me when I'm buying a series, but we'll see how this issue shows up, because at the end of last issue, our Reverend here, his partner, showed up here they are in the basement. The whole last episode took place in this basement with these two kind of talking to each other. And then at the end, there's our Reverend looking in the basement. We don't know if he sees him or not. We'll have to find that out this issue. But either way, Outcast has been a good comic. Issue number 20. We'll see what this brings us. And next we have Invincible, issue number 130. Look at this down here. Isn't it the worst when superheroes fight? Do they ever fight villains anymore? Though we got the news this week over the internet that Invincible is ending its run. I think with issue 144, they said. This is issue 130, so I guess they're ending this story in two. I read there was 12 issues left, but I think it said it was going to 144, so I'm a little confused about what the final number is. Maybe they're ending this story in 2 issues and then giving us 12 more issues. But either way, in a year or so, Invincible will be gone. Oh, there's Brit. I'm a little sad to hear that, because I've been reading Invincible. Though I've been collecting it in the Ultimate editions, I've been reading Invincible since I first borrowed my friend's issues. He had the first maybe 6 issues, and then I got the first oversized hardcover Ultimate edition. I've been buying it ever since, so I'll be a little sad when Invincible goes. But until then, I'll be reading it. And of course, I got the latest issue of Usagi Yojimbo, The Secret of the Hell Screen, Part 3 of 3 by Stan Sakai. You have heard me talk about Usagi month after month. There's some particularly nice art in this one. When Stan Sakai does the all-out battle scenes, they can be fun. He can draw the heck out of a page. But this is part 3 of 3 of this particular story. After doing some done-in-ones, he's got us with a 3-part story. Look at that nice drawing. Love those bushes back there. Just little, what are they? Fractals. Fractal bushes. Guy with his claws. This is an excellent Usagi cover, too, I have to say. That one, Usagi standing, feet spread wide apart with his sword, ready to take on the guy with the claws. I like this, I like the brown cover, the brown up here, the brown down here, with the foliage behind it. I have to say that this cover particularly stood out for me this month, and Usagi's a great book, issue number 157. You should be picking this one up. And the final book I picked up off the shelf this week is Godzilla, Rage Across Time, number 1 by IDW. This cover is a variation on the famous Japanese print The Wave. I think that's Tokyo Bay or Harbor with Mount Fuji in the back. But anyway, I just kind of I picked up some James Stokoe Godzilla years ago and enjoyed it. I haven't picked up any since, but I looked through this one and really liked the artwork. It's very reminiscent of Japanese woodcut prints, this issue. I assume it's going to be reminiscent of different time periods. I haven't actually read it yet, so I don't know. Different time periods across Japan over however many issues this is. Most of these are miniseries. But look at a nice Godzilla drawing. So I was like, what the heck? I'll give him $4. See how it is. I like it. Just picked this one up on a whim because I liked the artwork and liked the cover. See, is there a back cover on it? Oh, back cover is just an ad for Transformers or something like that. Revolution. No idea. Oh, this must be their crossover. There's ROM and Transformers. That's probably G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe and Transformers were a little after my time, so I'm not that familiar with them. But either way, Godzilla, Rage Across Time. Hopefully it's good. One quick note I want to give you is that I recently, just this past weekend, Friday night and Saturday, most of the day, I did something I don't usually do, which is read a whole bunch of comics all in one almost sitting. Well, not quite a sitting. I went back and I read Jacques Story by Dave Sim. Now this printing is from 1996, which is probably the last time I read it. And I didn't remember much of the details of Jacques Story, but I gotta say, I really, really liked it this time around. I probably liked it more than I liked it in 1996. That's how much I enjoyed it. But it's you can see Dave Sim's artwork is really nice. He's got some interesting panel layouts, and his writing is and one of the things this is one of the parts I completely forgot about. Usually I don't like things written in dialects or accents, but this is a Margaret Thatcher character, and he did such a good job with his lettering. You can see where he stretches out the letters and things are underlined, and shan't we? Little musical notes. And I could actually hear Margaret Thatcher's voice. There's some parts where he uses big areas of text. I could actually hear Margaret Thatcher's voice in this writing here. So I have to say, he did such a good job with both the writing and the lettering in this part. Now, take a look at that lettering. That's the kind of lettering you just don't see anymore. Matter of fact, you didn't see it much outside of Cerebus and maybe Pogo Possum in the 50s. But he just does such a nice job with it that I have to say I enjoyed Jacques Story so much that I had to dive right into the next 2 volumes, which are thinner. Melmoth, which is kind of, he's got one character in this Jacques Story who is Oscar Wilde, basically. He's, based him on Oscar Wilde, and this one is all about the death of that character, Oscar Wilde, and it's similar to Oscar Wilde's own death, where he just slowly, dies. He's old, he's worn out, and some of his friends try to take care of him, but he's dying. So it's just really look once again that his writing and his lettering can be so interesting. The way he does things. And Cerebus is almost a background character in most of Jacques' story. He comes back to life, kind of, in this one. And this is Simon Gerhard is his assistant who does all this tone work and all the background stuff. And then Flight is kind of more mystical. It's all about Cerebus kind of... look at the more nice lettering. Cerebus... is involved with these mystical characters, and he's trying to... and this is the Wolveroach, or Punisher Roach. This is a Punisher parody character. So there's some of that in there, too. But I gotta say, I remembered almost being that... let's see, when Flight probably came out in the later 90s. I didn't remember any of the details of them, of these particular ones, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. Winner of the 1992 one. See what year did this? 1993, but I probably got it in 96 when I got this Jacques Story printing, because I mostly started getting to Cerebus in the mid-90s. But I just wanted to let you know how good this stuff is, because I just reread it again. And finally, I'll give you a good look at my background art. You saw these a couple of weeks ago in black and white, and here's the color versions. I colored these in my markers. So you can see I use a bit of texture with my markers and the shapes and stuff. I try to get them since I have the ink line so textured. I try to get the marker line a little bit more texture with the different colors and things. But here's Dreams of Things 12 and 13. This one, since there's a lot of texture in the face you can see there, but since there's so much texture in the actual armor he's wearing, it was tough to get much texture in those little thin lines, but I think I got some. So there you go. You saw him in black and white, now you can see him in color. You guys all have a good... Oh, one more thing I forgot. I'll leave a link down below, but I was just on the Four Awesome Guys podcast last night with Undisputed Frost and Jean-Paul Ace Peter, and I was helping to interview Chris Giarrusso, who does the G-Man and the Mini Marvels comics. So if you want to see that, I'll leave a link below for you, and you all have a good week out there.